Hello, and welcome to another episode of Yeah Sure with me, your host, Kiki. Listen, you don't have to tell me twice. I'm going to tell you twice because this is like the second week in a row, or the second video in a row where I've been like, oh my God, it's been so long. Yeah, I know. Life got in the way, but I'm here now. I do always show up, even if it is late. But a little life update. I've been saving up money and working a lot because I have a wedding to pay for. I know I never mentioned, but like I got engaged like the week before I launched this. So I didn't want to like be one of those bride to bees who's just like, oh my God, look. Now I feel like enough time has passed where I could be like, look at me. I'm going to be a bride. I'm engaged. It's very exciting. I'm very happy. We found our venue and our family and friends are super supportive. I got the flu like real bad for like 5 days. I was like knocked out, 103 fever, done. That's also another reason why I didn't do the show is because I doubt you guys wanted to hear me sniffling for God knows how long. I just sounded bad and I was like losing my breath and just like from talking. So it really is not ideal to like read Reddit stories like that. Work is good, life is good. Summer's coming. I have my first solo beach day, have a little bit of a glow. And yeah, things are just good. Nobody give me the evil eye now. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. So, our first story today, I'm just doing this off the rip. Usually, I'll just like send it to myself beforehand, but today I don't feel like doing that. Today I am lazy. Honestly, I'm lucky I'm even doing this right now. Don't get me wrong, I really do love doing these, but I have to like get into the flow of it first. Like like when you don't want to like go in the shower and then once you're in there, you're like, "Oh, I never want to leave." It's kind of like that. Um okay. So, you know what? We're going to go with the most recent one that I saved. This one is from the subreddit Two Hot Takes. Shout out to Morgan cuz she's fucking awesome. And the title is My Husband Confessed Something and I Don't Know How to Feel. Posted 1 day ago. Because, I stay on top of it. I know I'm not posting videos, but I am looking at Reddit and I am like saving them like consciously. So don't think that I'm not thinking about you guys, my two subscribers. Listen, you have to fake it till you make it. One day I'm going to be famous and then my two subscribers can say, oh my God, I was like her first subscriber, right? Isn't that so cool? Don't you love when that happens? Okay, I digress. Title My Husband Confessed Something and I Don't Know How to Feel. Hey everyone, long time lurker, first time making an account. This situation is pretty strange and I don't even really know how to talk about it. But if I don't tell someone, I might go crazy. Slightly not suitable for work. All right. My 32 female husband, 37 male, recently told me that a few weeks before we got married, he asked his friend Jay, 37 male, about sex. We were both waiting for marriage and Jay had experience. And somehow this ended up with my husband watching Jay masturbate. That's not sex. That's voyeurism. That's like beyond. Okay. We'll see. We got married 11 years ago and I just found out about this. So you got married when you were 21? 21? Which isn't like a late time to like lose your virginity or anything. And he was 26? Okay. No judgment. A little bit of judgment. It's fine. Live your life. Strange, but okay. Listen, I have a firm belief that you need to sleep with someone before you even like commit to them, right? Like you need to see if the chemistry's there. Anyway, we'll continue. My husband said it sounds worse than what it was, but what? He assured me that he didn't touch Jay or anything, and I do believe him. I don't think that he was keeping this as a secret from me either. The way that he said it was kind of a cringing at your past self sort of way. Like, oh, I never told you about this embarrassing thing I did to impress you type of story. I didn't really react in the moment because it didn't quite register at first what he was saying, and we just moved on. Obviously, it's strange, right? I can't stop thinking about it. We're still really close with Jay, and I'm assuming his wife knows as he's an open book about pretty much everything to the point where I'm honestly a little surprised Jay never brought it up to me himself. I don't feel like my husband cheated on me, or at least I don't believe that was the intention. But at the same time, if Jay was a woman, maybe my perspective would be different. Then again, I guess I don't know. Should I let it go? It was a one time thing over a decade ago, and I remember telling him that he should just ask Jay for tips. I'm not sure how detailed I want to get here, but Jay had a toy he was using to show him how to do it. Oh, oh. Sorry, that took me a moment. I was like, "What do you mean a toy? Was he like putting his little beehole? I don't know what was going on there." I'm guessing it was like a fake pocket twazzle. Okay. Which I mean, hey, our first time was great, so silver lining, I guess. Haha. I love my husband, and Jay is a friend of mine that I love too. I don't imagine this is a common experience, but if anyone has had anything similar, what did you do? Wowza. I can't relate. Definitely can't relate. Because I had quite a few boyfriends and have gotten some experience before my ripe old age of 32. Um, I don't think I think he was just nervous. I don't think he had any ill intention. I don't think this is cheating. I think Jay is a little bit weird for wanting to like physically show him what was going on, like the pocket toisole. I I don't know, but dudes are weird. Dudes do stuff like that. Like women we'll have like one magical night, one lesbianic night, and you know, either you're with it or you're not and whatever, but that's usually like just exploration. Men they like watch porn together and like go to the strip club, and it's so strange that men get together and they're like, "You wanna just, like, get, like, super horned up together?" So weird. So weird. Anyway, I I can talk about that for, like, 12 years. Um, so we're just gonna look at the best comments. It could be nothing, or he could be slowly testing waters about your reaction to him having interest in males too. I didn't think about that. I thought maybe Jay would be a little bit more gay. But OP responds to that and says, I can see where you're coming from, but I don't think this would be the avenue he'd go down when we had conversations about LGBT plus stuff before we had our first kid. Also, even if he was, he's never expressed desire to be non monogamous. He's a very, I've met all the people I need to kind of guy. Once he loves someone slash something, he cares about it forever. Okay, that's very sweet. I think he was just like I think he was just curious. I think he was a 26-year-old man who didn't know anything about like the female form. And I'm curious if you guys are like Mormon or something. I don't know. I mean, I guess some people are just more sheltered than others. So, whatever. Uh Another comment says, what baffles me, assuming that your husband didn't know how to masturbate, is that he wanted to impress you by learning how to masturbate. How is that beneficial for you in any way? If you're not okay with it, you need to talk to your husband. I think people who are not experienced with sex think that any little thing will help, you know? Like Morbins are like super weird with it, right? Or and also, like, Amish people too, but there's, like, the whole, like, soaking thing where, like, they'll all, like, get together just Google it. I'm not gonna get into it. That's not my job. I think people who just don't have a lot of experience are strange in that way, which is fine, like, honestly, it's, like, none of my business what you do in your bedroom, or don't do, rather. I'll read one more comment. How did he end up watching him masturbate? That would involve your friend pulling his pants down, becoming erect for some reason, then masturbating until completion, and your husband just sat there and watched? How does this make sense? Who came up with this idea? How does one, wow, how does one go from asking about sex to watching his friend masturbate? Why did he watch? I don't know how you get to that point. Um, so OP says, see, this is what I need to know before I can fully let it go. I wish I asked more questions in the moment, but I think my brain blue screened when he told me. It's trying to find the balance between getting the answers and not trying to bombard him with a million questions about something he was clearly embarrassed to tell me about. Yeah, all that makes sense. I'm gonna see if maybe they posted someplace else. Oh man. Nah, nothing. Well, I hope they come back to it. Oh, okay. This is okay, this seems juicy. Okay, so somebody commented saying, did he know porn existed?" And OP commented saying, "I've seen this question a lot, so I thought I'll answer even though it's dark. Trigger warning for suicide and revenge porn. Trigger warning." Yes, he did know porn existed. He was against watching or viewing anything like that at the time, as his first exposure to it as a concept was very, very bad. He had an aunt that he was close with, and when he was about 13 and she was 20, her videos and photos got spread around town, and she ended up committing suicide. Oh, that's very sad. It kind of broke his mother's brain, and as you can imagine, severely fucked with him. He had it in his mind that every porn video was somehow not consensual or breaking the trust of the person in it. Lots and lots and lots of therapy to where he is now. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I think he might just have a weird relationship to sex, and that's okay. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna go with one of these. I only hung out with a Down syndrome kid because I got paid in fake school money. Okay. Or my younger brother's girlfriend is upset because my older brother ordered the same meal as her at a family restaurant and now there's drama. There's also a boyfriend wears a fake hairpiece and doesn't know I know about it. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go hung out with Down syndrome. Hung out with Down syndrome for 500, Alex? Sorry, I'm letting the thoughts take over. So this is r/confession and it was posted 8 days ago. I only hung out with the Down syndrome kid because I got paid in fake school money. This all happened when I was in fourth grade, a long time ago now, but I still think about it sometimes. In my fourth grade class, there was a kid named Jake, fake name, with Down syndrome. I think, thinking back, I don't know exactly what his disability was, but he was some kind of developmentally challenged. Being fourth graders, no one really liked to hang out with him since he was weird and different, prone to outbursts, and left our class for about half the day to go to special ed classes. But he had lunch and recess with us and was presumably pretty lonely during that time. Everyone avoided him. I was an introverted kid, teacher's pet, definitely a brown noser, but I have a talent for getting along with damn near anyone. So my teacher asked me to play with Jake during recess, offering me a school buck to do so. She was clearly desperate to include this poor kid, and bribing me was her last resort. School bucks were a hot commodity. They were given out for good behavior or good grades and could be exchanged at the school store for little goodies, sparkly pencils, fun shaped erasers, or the best gummy bear keychains. Ah, I want a gummy bear keychain. I want sparkly pencils. I still want these things, and I'm not even in fourth grade. Keeps me young. I wanted one of those keychains bad. See? So I agreed and got school buck every day I would hang out with Jake. I still feel weird about it. I was not thrilled to be pulled away from my friends, but I would need a fat stack of school bucks to earn me one of those gummy bear keychains. They cost 50. Big money. So I played with Jake at recess, got bullied for hanging out with the quote unquote retarded kid. But as I said, I wanted that keychain bad. Jake turned out to be super nice. I don't remember if he was completely nonverbal or just very low levels of verbal, but I know we didn't have much conversation. I mostly talked at him. But we were both really into dinosaurs and rocks and bonded a lot over drawing dinosaurs in chalk at recess or playing pretend or looking at pictures in the library books. I joined Jake once in some special ed activity where we drew designs for shirts. I drew a T Rex and he drew a volcano. We traded them. That's very sweet. Aw, I want to draw dinosaurs on t shirts and volcanoes. I mean, I could do that. I'm a full fucking adult. I could do that. I think I collected a week's worth of school bucks before I forgot to collect them, and hanging out with Jake was just what I did. I got to school extra early for orchestra practice a few times a week, and I have a very distinct memory of Jake running to greet me at the door of our classroom so he could take my viola case from me and put it in the back room. It was very gentlemanly of him. He died in a house fire a few months after we became friends, after I was paid to be his friend. Oh no, that's so tragic. I'm so sorry. R.I.P. Jake. I remember being livid at everyone else in my class because they were all acting sad at losing a classmate, but I was the only one who actually knew him and actually spent time with him. He loved dinosaurs and digging through the dirt by the fence to find cool rocks. The T Rex was his favorite, but the Brontosaurus was okay too. He had really crazy hair that stuck out in all directions, and if he was overwhelmed, he could be calmed down if you avoided eye contact for a bit. He hunched over when he got stressed, so I would turn away until he straightened back up. Since that meant he had regulated himself again. I miss him still over 2 decades later. The gummy bear keychain is long since gone, but I still have the volcano shirt he drew for me. Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. That's really sad. Oh my god, I'm crying. I hope he knows that we were really friends, and even if the initial friendship was motivated entirely by grade school capitalism, I hope his last months were better because he had a friend. I didn't know much about his home life, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't great. His family was definitely poor and almost certainly struggled to take care of him since he was very high needs. I don't remember if any of his family died in the fire, but if any of them are alive, I hope they know how much I really like their son. He was a really, really great kid. I hope they don't hate me for caring so much about him because I was paid to care at first. I really did consider him a friend, and I regret constantly that I had to be bribed to be nice to him. I miss you, Jake. If there's dinosaurs in the afterlife, I hope you got to meet one. Edit. Thank you very much for the awards. It's very kind. If you're reading this post in Jake's honor, please be kind to someone for no reason when you're able to, especially if it's somebody with special needs and their caregivers who work so tirelessly to help them navigate the world. The world needs no strings kindness. I regret needing incentive to be nice, but I can forgive myself a little since I was just a kid. As adults, we should give it as freely and often as we can, and I thank Jake for teaching me that very young. Oh my goodness, I'm fucking crying. Wow. That's really, really sweet and really sad. And oh my God, this poor kid dying in a house fire. I'm going to take a moment of silence for Jake because I can't even imagine how terrifying that is to be, first off, like, you know, mentally challenged and then having to navigate a house fire. It's devastating. I honestly have no words. I have no comments. I think it's just a really, really sweet. I think this guy is really sweet for doing what he did, even though it was originally to buy like glittery erasers. Top comment is started for the wrong reason, stayed for the right one. Sounds like you gave that kid some real friendship when almost nobody else would. And OP responds to that. I still get a cold pit in my stomach, wondering if anyone told him why I started hanging out with him. I definitely told my friends when it first started to try to get people to stop making fun of me. I don't remember well enough to know if anyone ever told him. Probably not. Hopefully, he forgives me in the afterlife. I think he was just happy to have a friend. Like, regardless. Like, he was running up to you to like grab your viola case, like that's cool. You know, he considered you friends for sure. Um, yeah. But on the note of like being kind to nonverbal people, a podcast that I really, really, really suggest if you're into, it's honestly not even woo woo. Like it is a little bit, but at the end of the day, I think it is more so what we're learning through science and through just like observation. But there's a podcast called Telepathy Tapes, and it's about nonverbal autistic people and how they've been given like actual tools to like learn how to communicate when people thought that they were like practically like brain dead. And so now they communicate via these like um I forgot exactly what they're called, but they're like little keyboards and like they or speller boards, I think is what they're called. And they spell everything out. But people have found out that they know information about things that like they've never even been taught, things that they've never seen on TV. They know how to communicate with each other. Like parents can communicate with them telepathically. It's absolutely insane, and I'm gonna tell a little anecdote. I know I'm not talking about the story, but this is, like, something that's, burned inside my brain. According to this podcast, a lot of nonverbal people can communicate telepathically, and, as, like, a little experiment, I was like, "Okay, like, if I see a nonverbal person on the street, I'm gonna try to talk to them, you know, telepathically." And I was, like, on my block, and there's this nonverbal kid who lives there. He's probably in his, like, 20s or something, and he was entirely silent, like, kind of, like, dozing off, like, looking out into the distance, and I passed him, and in my brain, I, like, looked at him, and I was like, "Hey, I see you. I see you and I hear you. I hope you have a good day," something along those lines. And he started like clapping. He put on a huge smile on his face and started clapping. And I'm like, okay, this shit's real. This shit's gotta be real for sure. I love science so much. And I love the woo woo. And honestly, before science became like real science, it was woo woo for people. Like mirrors, like, people were like, "Oh my god, that's like a totally different dimension." And you know what? It might be. It might still be, but we also know the science behind mirrors. So, okay. Um sorry guys. I really should have a podcast. Okay, we're going to do one more story. We're going to do a really funny one and I'll tell you a little anecdote about that one too. This is under the subreddit What Should I Do? And the title is Boyfriend Wears a Fake Hairpiece and Doesn't Know I Know About It. And this is from 9 days ago. Okay, before anybody comes for me for being judgmental from the title, I do not care if he has fake hair. I just wish he could know that. My boyfriend, 24 male, and I, 20 female, have been together for almost 3 months now. We met through mutual friends since we go to the same university. We started talking online at first and eventually met up in person. During our first few dates, I didn't notice anything unusual about his hair. About a month in, I finally did notice something off and asked him why his hair looked so stiff, like he was using hair gel or something to keep it in place. He visibly tensed up and told me he had gone through some sort of hair treatment. I didn't think much of it at the time. Later, one of my friends came up to me and asked if my boyfriend wears a wig. I was confused and asked her where she heard that from. She said she found out through a mutual friend who's in the same class as my boyfriend. I immediately defended him and said even if that were true, I wouldn't have a problem with it because it's his choice. Good for you, girl. At this point, though, I'm pretty sure he does wear a hairpiece. I checked some of his old pictures on social media, and it does seem likely. Also, whenever I try to touch his hair, he pulls away or tenses up, and honestly, that makes me sad because I want him to feel comfortable around me. The thing is, I genuinely do not care if he wears one. I still find him attractive, and it changes absolutely nothing for me. I just wish he trusted me enough to tell me instead of brushing it off whenever I try to come close to talk about it. What makes it harder is that it seems like everyone except me already knows, and now I feel awkward pretending I don't. Should I talk to him about it? If yes, how do I bring it up without embarrassing him or making him feel insecure? I really love him and want him to know that this is not a big deal to me at all. Okay, so you could go one of two routes. One, you ignore it until he brings it up to you when he has enough confidence to. which is usually the route that I take. Like I practice a silent knowing. So that's route number 1. The second route is that you could just like talk about it and you could be like, "Hey, I noticed you get a little tense around your hair. I noticed that your old social media pictures look different than your hair now. I know this is really awkward, but like, are you wearing a hairpiece? I don't care if you are because I find you attractive, yada yada." I was actually talking about like baldness the other day, and like a lot of men go bald. Most men go bald. It's just inevitable. It's unfortunate to have it done in your 20s, but what I gotta say is that fucking own it. Own it. And like there's a whole subreddit about bald men. And they're like holding on to like 3 strands of hair. And they post on this subreddit and they're like, "All right, fam, like should I just take the plunge?" And then they do and they look so much hotter and they look so much happier. And like you gotta just let it go. You gotta let it go. Or you could do what my fiance did and just get a big ass tattoo on the side of your head. You know? It exudes confidence. And wearing a little hairpiece does not exude confidence. I'm sorry, it doesn't. Especially when you get all tense about it. Like, people with hairpieces are not forward about their hairpieces. Girls, when they get extensions, are usually like, "Yeah, it's extensions." You know? We gotta we have to stop making men feel bad about being bald unless they're bad people. But this is a fun little story. So, my mom had a boyfriend, and I mean, honestly, he did a great job at this, but he would always wear like a headband. Like, he was like one of those guys, short man, had a little limp. Like, I don't know. He caused a lot of drama in my family. I won't get into it. But he would wear a headband and like he had this like sandy blonde hair. And I never thought anything of it, and I forgot, and I never thought anything of it, and I forgot who told me. I think it was somebody else in my family that he was wearing a headpiece, and he would wear it to bed. Like, he would wear the headband with the headpiece to bed with my mother. Like, oh god. I mean, that man ruined so many lives, but we really wanted to, like, pay, like, some, like, kids in high school, like, $200 to, like, go and, like, swipe it off his head. Oh, that would've been so funny. Anyway, I digress. Okay. So the top comment here is, "Hi, boyfriend. I really like you, and you are super," insert compliments about him and his appearance. "I think that something is up with your hair. No, I don't judge and don't mind if you have something with it, and that I find you attractive no matter what and want you to be comfortable around me," and give him a big hug. And then OP says, "Fingers crossed. I think I'll ask him about it soon." Uh, Somebody else commented, "First off, please stop trying to touch his hair. It's clearly something that he doesn't enjoy. You sound like a very thoughtful person, and I'm sure you could set the tone and find the words to build his confidence without embarrassing him. Take him to do something nice, and after you spent the day together, you could gently approach the situation. Quote, 'Babe, we had the best time together today, but you're bald.'" I'm sorry. Like, this person's comment is ridiculous. Okay. Quote, "Babe, we had the best time together today, but I wanted to ask you something. It's nothing serious, but I want you to know that I'm here for you no matter what. Now that I've said all that, baby, do you wear a headpiece? I'm only asking because I want to respect your physical boundaries. I don't care regardless because you're being confident and comfortable is what matters to me." And then OP says, "It's not something I do on purpose, LOL, whenever we're just fooling around. My hands brush his hair, the bottom part to be specific, where I assume the piece is attached." And then somebody else goes, call it a hair system, by the way. Don't use hairpiece, toupee, or wig. A lot of men are very sensitive about hair loss. Okay, okay. Let's relax here. I'm getting on my soapbox. Bodies are bodies. People go bald. People have cellulite. People are fat. People are skinny. People have big tits. They have tiny tits. They got big butt, no butt. We just all need to like be comfortable with it. The more that we stop criticizing others for like their physical attributes, the more we could be comfortable in our physical attributes, right? Like, bitch, I'm 5 foot. I got a big rack. I got a big ass. It's too much. I know, woe is me. But like, no, but like for real. I have really, really thick hair. I have to shave my legs like every 2 days. Okay. I was born with a hairy back, you know? Like, there are certain things that, whatever. Anyway, I know men could be like super fucking sensitive about being bald, but just own it. Own it and live in it. And I'm done coddling men. I'm done coddling. I am just done. Okay. Sorry. I don't know why that comment got me like so fucking heated between like, baby, we had a great time together. Why? Why would you say any of that? Why would you, first off, go out on a date, right? You're going to go out and you're going to have the best date ever. He's going to have such a good time. And then you're going to ruin it all by talking about his fucking hairpiece. Are you kidding? No, we're not doing that. Whatever, OP. However you want to deal with it. Actually, I'm going to see if OP talked about it because this is from like whatever, like a week ago. And I am so heated. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm very emotional. I think it's because I haven't done this in a few weeks and I am just got everything all backed up, you know? Ah, here's a comment saying maybe go and have a look at r/bald and see some of the glow ups that happen with the people who stop hiding it and talk to some people on there about this. It's honestly amazing how dramatic the improvement is between the denials and the acceptance. That that is sound advice. That is sound advice. I remember like you know how like Reddit, or maybe you don't know how Reddit, but so Reddit will suggest certain pages to you. And I think because I upvoted one post on like the bald thing, like they just kept suggesting it to me. And my fiance was like, how come you keep looking at other bald men? Oh, it's so funny. But they do have really big glow ups, truly. Um, and you know what? On that note, I want everyone to love themselves. I want everybody to look in the mirror and say, I love me. I am beautiful. I am lovely. I am wonderful. I am her. I am him. I am them. And live your life, man. Live your life. Who cares if you're bald, if you're short, if you're too tall, if you're lanky? Who gives a shit? Who cares? Love yourself. Accept yourself. Okay. And on that note, I think we can wrap this up. Thanks, guys, for watching. Stay healthy. I'll catch you next time.